All right, Nick. This is kind of just an intro video for you. We're excited to have you on the platform and to be testing it out with the Jaguars. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go through your roster, report creation, the dashboard, and then also kind of a data export. So right now we're on your roster page right now. So the Highland Hills Jaguars, PWAA. Right now, I have input all of the names on your roster. Their positions right now are unspecified as they were not on the team's page on the website. So there's a couple ways that we can do this. Either you can input just their position here when you join the team, which I will invite you as a coach after we're done here. And then you can also input an email attached to all these players. So Brody Anderson, you can just input an email for his mom or dad, and then click save after you're done. The other way we can do this is you can have your manager, or you can send an Excel with an email attached to every player, their position. You can just send me an email without an Excel, just which player is attached to which email, basically a mom or dad's email, and then their position. However you guys want to do it, it's fine. So again, you can go in here and edit this stuff. You can have your manager send me something. You can send me something, a document in Excel, whatever. And then the other thing that I want to mention, so I saw Nikolai is on here. I'm not sure. I'm guessing this is your son. And if that is the case, we have a wall built in to Drosif where parents on the team can't see team data. And what that means, though, is that coaches, when they join the roster as a coach, uh, they can't join as a parent as well. So I would recommend one of two things. When you join as a coach, I would recommend that if you are the one inputting the emails here, that you input a different email address than your Yahoo one, which is I'm going to invite you as, or you can just input Nikolai's mother's email, or however you guys want to do that. The next thing I want to go into is coach invites. So when you join as a coach, you'll see an invitation in your inbox after I send you the email with this video, and you'll join as a coach. Then what you can do is you can just also invite your assistant coaches to join the platform as well, and they will have access to this as well. Next thing I want to go into are reports. So right now, let's keep in mind that everyone on the team does not have a specified position. So when you do a report, you pick the skills that you want to evaluate. And we recommend that you pick anywhere from 4 to 8 skills for a position. Right now, no one has a position. And I have already picked a few skills to evaluate. I'm just gonna uncheck these when we're done. But this is just a mock, kind of example here. So let's say attitude, speed, shooting, and stride. And you save that. And now we're gonna create a report. Let's say initial test report is the one we want to do. We'll give it a date here, the 25th. You can input a YouTube video if you want for the team. A lot of teams, they just film with an iPad and then they upload it to YouTube. So you can always input that functionality, that capability. And then this note right here goes out to the entire team. They can all see this. And then you press create. It'll populate your roster, and it'll put the position above the group of players. So, when you put forwards, defense, goalies, it'll break these into different boxes. So it'll say forward, then you'll have another box down here, defense, and then another box, goalies. And the way that we do this is it pulls up, you just pull up the pen there, you hit the pen, and attitude, you can either enter in a number, or you can use this, and you can just start evaluating them on a 1 through 5 scale, and and this is obviously just an example. Recommend you just add a little bit of color. Brody did well over the Thanksgiving tournament. Great shot from the point. Would like to see him get a little lower in his stride. Something to be aware of in the off season. All right, and then you're going to save that. And once you hit save, if you have emails attached and their parents that have been invited to the platform, that will get blasted out to them. And it'll let them know, hey, there's a report on Brody. Let's go check it out. And then you can just do that for all of them. That information will, and again, we really only recommend 4 to 8 skills per position. So right now, I coach a Pee Wee team. I do 6 skills. I evaluate 6 skills. Most of the forwards and defense on my team are evaluated on the same things: stride, speed, shooting. But then for like defense, I have gap control is an area that I evaluate. So all of that information goes into your dashboard. Right now, there's nothing really on here because you only have one player evaluated, and this is a team average right here. So you've got a bunch of values of 0, and then Brody's got some values in there, and so it's pulling in the team average, so it's very, very low, obviously. But once all those values are populated for the team, you'll start to see the team average. As you build out reports, you'll start to see a line graph. There's different ways to look at this data. Player distribution is one of them. You've got Brody here and a bunch of zeros here. But you'll be able to see every player in the team, and parents will only be able to see their player marked in gold. So then from that, yeah, I guess you can try a data export. So once you start to get data into the system, this is something that's really more useful for kind of like end of year or for the director of the club in tryouts next year. And this is just a generate data export. And what you would do is, so we have a bunch of teams in here right now, but you would just pick the teams that you want. And this would be useful because Highland Hills is a fairly sizable club. And what you could do is you could take like all of the 07s at the Pee Wee level. And this is something the director would do because he is going to be attached to all the different teams he can be. And you would take their birth years, it's unspecified, and then positions, forward, defense, whatever, goalie, and then you can pull in all the skills, the stats, whatever, and then you can export that. When we export this, nothing's going to come up because there's really no data in there. But this is what a data export looks like. So what you have here is all the different things that everyone's being evaluated on: shooting, stride, speed, attitude, preparedness, gap control. Then it goes into the team rank, the distance from the mean, which is fairly useful, seasonal growth, and then it'll go into stats, and that's the last thing I'm going to talk about. Our stats page right here. So what we have here is we track assists, goals, penalty minutes, goals against, and saves. And if it's just entirely up to you if you want us to do that. What we can do is your manager of your team, I think I saw it was Mark, he can send in pictures of the actual score sheets and we'll just input it for you. It's just a feature that we offer, and it's entirely up to you if you guys want us to track your stats. And that's stuff that can go into the data export. It can also go into your dashboard. Once you do have some stats in there, you'll have the ability to toggle. You'll have a switch up here that'll be a toggle from skills to stats, and you'll be able to see all the data in there. So again, if you have any questions at all, email me, call me. You've got my email now, and I'll put my phone number in there in the email that I'm about to send to you. And really looking forward to having you on board. And again, for the reports, would only recommend you do 4 to 8 skills. We have some AAA teams in here that are doing like, they're seriously evaluating like 16 different skills, and it gets redundant, highly redundant. Like they're literally evaluating attitude and motivation, which I think are pretty much almost the same thing. So would go in here and do 4 to 8 skills, click save, then go down to defense, another 4 to 8 skills, even if they're the same skills, passing, shooting, stride, whatever. And then goalie, obviously they're going to be a little different. You can evaluate glove, blocker, recovery, things like that. Yeah, again, send me the information for your roster, or you guys can get in there and do it yourself. And looking forward to having you on board. Thanks a lot, Nick.